Excuse me, is anybody sitting here? Sorry, this seat's taken. Sorry.
But
Brandon, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Everyone, we mentioned the past couple of weeks, Brandon Cole is going to be out for the next 2 episodes. But don't worry, I got another Brandon on deck. Brandon Brogdon is back in town. Well, he's not in town. He's back on the podcast.
back on the screen.
Back on the screen. I appreciate you coming on, Brandon.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, dude, I love. We've been talking movie. We text movies all the time about each other. I haven't seen this show or that, so I'm excited to have you on the Odyssey. Robert Pattinson is probably your favorite actor. I'd say Christopher Nolan is your top 3 directors. I mean, so it makes sense to just have you on for this movie.
My top director, he makes banger movies. The Dark Knight's one of my favorite films of all time.
The Dark Knight? Oh, shoot. Okay. Dang.
I'm seeing that in theaters till today. It was amazing.
Okay, that's gonna come in handy because I got a little Christopher Nolan game for you later this in this episode. So we're gonna be playing some. I don't want to spoil it yet, but we have a big game for Christopher Nolan fans. But what you been up to, Brandon? Like we've been talking about how excited we were for this movie so far. Now that we're here, do you feel accomplished? Do you feel it was worth the wait, or do you want more? Or you were expecting more?
It was definitely worth the wait. I didn't know what to expect, but my mind was blown. I'm actually going to go see it again in the 70 millimeter IMAX on August 12th at 11 a.m. because that's literally the only showing that's not completely sold out. So I'll be there.
So the crazy thing about this movie, and it's I don't know if it's the first movie to do it. It's only one of the few movies. Tickets went on sale like a year ago. It's kind of insane. Did you?
Yeah, they started selling tickets last July.
Did you buy tickets last July?
No, I did not.
So you live in Indianapolis. I don't want to I don't know if it's cool to blow up your spot like that, but you live in Indy where they have one of the very few true IMAXs in the country. I mean, there's like only 9 different spots or something like that. So I live in Northwest Indiana, nowhere near one of the true IMAXs. So I mean, it didn't seem like it was worth it for me to buy my ticket in advance because I legit bought my ticket 1 week before and it was totally fine. I got a pretty decent seat too. I mean, it's really the ones with the true IMAXs. Those are the ones that sold really fast. And you just mentioned like August 12th, which is like a little under a month away. You're gonna be waiting.
Yeah.
But
first movie ever shot entirely on 70 millimeter IMAX, though. I got to see it there.
I mean, that's kind of a game changer. Like, you know, he's worked with IMAXs many times before, but I would say only up to a third, maybe half of the movie was ever shot entirely of IMAX. But just because of a few reasons, it's a loud machine, it's budget, you know, like it's real expensive, and it's just big and bulky kind of like thing. Like, we'll talk about like how they shot some of the shots later, but IMAX is pretty impressive. Before we get into it, like I'll just bring this up. I was just trying to save it, but this thing's so fucking cool, Brandon. I just had to share it with you. I did get a popcorn bucket, and it is the IMAX popcorn bucket screen.
Hell yeah!
This thing is badass. Now there was 2 different popcorn buckets for the Odyssey. There was the Trojan horse, which is probably like 2.5 feet taller, and it's standing up, and the popcorn goes in the belly. Very cool, but I mean I don't know. It just wasn't for me. But for a true IMAX fan, a true movie Christopher Nolan fan, like I feel like I had to get this IMAX thing, and this thing was like $50. $50.
Damn,
and I was kind of it was very insane because like it's a smaller bucket. It's a very small bucket. I was expecting like $40 max, but no, like when they told me the price, I was kind of shocked. But the cool thing is, you see like it has like a little lens here. You can stick your eye in and see. You can't really see it, but there is a light in there, and you can see it. There's like a scene from the movie that you can see through the lens. It's very cool.
Oh, nice. What? I guess we shouldn't say what scene it is yet in the movie.
Well, it's just the Trojan horse in the water. That's really what it is.
Okay.
So it's nothing crazy. What have you been up to? What have you been watching lately before we get into the actual movie? Like streaming wise, movie wise, what have you been into?
Well, last night I watched Fast and Furious 7. That's when the franchise really starts to take a dip, though.
Some could say like after Fast and Furious 3, maybe, but
No. I would say Fast 5 is probably the best one, where they rob that dude in Brazil. That's probably the best one. They're also bringing the original back to theaters next month, and I'm going to see that. Love that movie.
I did see that for like the 20th anniversary or something like that.
But
is it
streaming like TV shows and stuff, I just watch Game of Thrones lately. That's my only thing I watch, really. I love that shit.
I think the last time he came out, you just finished watching Game of Thrones too, and he's still watching it.
Now I'm on another watch. And there's also a show on Apple TV called Cape Fear that I've taken a liking to with Javier Bardem and Patrick Wilson and Amy Adams. It's kind of a horror thriller type show.
You did tell me about that. You did, but try to sell me on it. What is it about exactly?
Javier Bardem goes to prison for the murder of his wife and son, but he doesn't do it, or he gets out later, 17 years later, because he was wrongfully convicted. And Amy Adams and Patrick Wilson are the 2 lawyers. One was the defender, one was the prosecutor, and they ended up getting married too. And there's like a whole bunch of rumors that they did some foul stuff to get him in there. That's all unfolding and whatnot.
So they're both the bad guys in this movie or the show?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think Ashley's the bad guy.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I love every single one of those actors you just named. Patrick Wilson, I think I just texted the other night. Like he's in the rumors of to be the new X-Men for the new X-Men reboot.
Who's he supposed to?
Professor X.
He'd be a good Professor X.
I think
Be
he would be
interesting.
too. Yeah, I seen his name. I was kind of shocked at the beginning, but the more I thought about it, it's like, okay, I can kind of see it. But I also seen a couple other actors. I don't know. Nothing's been confirmed yet. But you were talking about Fast and Furious. I was just talking about Vin Diesel last night, like as one does, randomly, because you're a big fan of the studio too. Like Vin Diesel is rumored to be in season 2 of the studio. I think, which is wild. It's a very random pairing, Seth Rogen and him. But I remember Seth Rogen, like right when season 1 dropped, everyone's asking about season 2, and he was jokingly saying like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have Vin Diesel on for season 2." Like he said it in multiple interviews, and like Vin Diesel ended up reaching out a little bit, kind of like, so he kind of spoke into existence, but jokingly, and it looks like it might be happening. So I'm excited to see that, like how it's going to turn out. But other confirmed people going to be in there is Madonna. She's going to be a big arc in the show, because I don't know if you heard, Madonna was going to get a biopic and it got canned because she just wanted to pick up a budget, I think with Universal, if I'm not mistaken, and they just couldn't agree on a budget, so the movie was scrapped. But they're kind of gonna make fun of that in the movie. Like they're gonna be, I think the last movie was like the Kool-Aid Man was like the big movie they were kind of making, and this one is gonna be like the Madonna biopic that they're making. So she's gonna be in it, and Danny McBride's gonna also, he confirmed he's gonna be in there, and I think I just seen something with Jonah Hill might be in there too a little bit. So I mean, it's gonna be, I'm excited for it. They're in the middle of shooting it now. We should get it, if not this fall, it had to be early next year. I can't remember when the first season dropped, but I'm excited for that show. I love that show so much.
I think that show is really good, and I'm a huge fan of Danny McBride too.
Yeah, did you see he's bringing the new? He's rebooting the G.I. Joe movies franchise.
I did not. Is he gonna star in it too?
I don't think he's going to star in it. I think he's just writing it. He did tease like there are some big names attached to it, but obviously nothing's been announced. The only thing we know for sure is that he is making them. So I mean, Comic-Con's coming up, I believe this week. So I think we're going to get a lot more information on that, because I think they are still going to be going the route where they're connected with the Transformers.
The G.I. Joe movies?
Yes. Yeah, in the last Transformers movies, I don't know if you remember seeing it, like the one with animal-looking robots. At the end of that movie, they try recruiting the main character. I can't remember his name, but into the G.I. Joe world. Like they show him to the boot camp and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty badass. So, I mean, that is going to be happening. I don't know if this is a specific one that is going to be connected to that, but yeah, Danny McBride's all for it. He loves it. He did the Halloween franchise once. I mean, he's a great writer. He's a great great performer. He just has an aura.
He has like 4 shows on Apple TV that are really good. On Hulu, on HBO that are really good.
Really good. HBO, yeah. HBO. Who's your favorite streaming system?
Definitely HBO.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I had to say Apple TV makes the best originals.
I mean, yeah, probably now they do.
Yeah.
They got that new show Lucky. I kind of want to check out with Anya Taylor-Joy or whatever her name is.
When she came out with the Queen's Gambit, she was my celebrity crush for the longest. She still is. She's good. She's good looking. She got confirmed to be in the new Lord of the Rings movie coming out pretty soon. So, I mean, I don't know. I like how you just list a celebrity. I can tell you where they're going to be in next.
I have been seeing a lot of people going to Andy Serkis about that movie or something.
Yeah, he's going to be
he's going to be Gollum, right? Or whatever his name is.
He's going to be that, and also I believe he's directing the movie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But I got some Hollywood news here too. We can go over too real quick, and I just want to get your opinion about this, because you're a big movie guy, so you know what I'm going to be talking about. There's nothing worse when I go talk to movies with a friend and they just have no idea what I'm talking about. Blue Beetle is going to be returning to Superman Man of Tomorrow. Did you see about that?
No, I never even saw the Blue Beetle movie.
You were not missing much at all. Like I would watch it. I would watch it just for the canon, like how it's canon to the universe now, but you did not miss much at all back then. Like the movie was actually kind of cringe a little bit, especially with George Lopez being in it. It wasn't that good. I mean, the actor who plays him, he was pretty decent. I actually liked him a lot. He's a pretty cool guy outside of the acting world too. But it's cool. I'm excited to see him interact with the Superman. Like apparently everyone's going to be in the Superman movie character wise. Like, the 2 Green Lanterns, and Lantern's going to be coming out next month, I believe, for the TV show. He's going to be in the movie. There's rumors of Wonder Woman. Almost everyone from the first movie Superman came out is going to be in there. Supergirl just came out. She's going to be in that movie too. I'm excited for it. I like that they're going for the idea like this world is lived in. Like we're not going to pretend that other superheroes don't exist in this thing. So I'm excited for it.
They're going the Marvel route.
Yeah, but Marvel took years to build where it's at now. Like this one's just like diving right into it, which I respect that.
Is the Penguin going to experience?
Maybe not in Superman, but my next one, we got the first teaser of Batman Part 2, where we see like a little footage of Robert Pattinson Batman in snow, like just doing a like a cowl, like turn and look at the camera thing. But
Yeah,
that looked
why not?
badass. That was enough to get me excited for the movie.
Yeah, that movie's gonna be awesome. He's a great Batman.
Is he your favorite Batman?
No, my favorite Batman's Christian Bale. Like I said, The Dark Knight's like my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies of all time.
I hate to say it. I mean, but I don't hate to say it. I think Robert Pattinson is my favorite Batman, actually.
I don't know. I think you just have to revisit the Nolan trilogy.
Probably. What else do we got here? I Play Rocky, releasing on November 20th. Anthony Ippolito playing Rocky, directed by Peter Farrelly, who directed the movie, the Oscar winner Green Book. We've seen the first trailer for it. I think I texted you immediately about it because I love the Rocky. I talked before about Rocky being my top 10 franchises of all time. I'm excited for this movie. It's a good, the story of Rocky from behind the scenes I've known about for a long time, like how the struggle was to get it made, like how he was really the one who put his money where his mouth is, like betting on himself to get this movie made, and turns out he did. I'm excited for this movie.
I didn't know anything about the backstory about getting Rocky made until I watched this trailer. I didn't know like he wrote it and stuff. Like
Yeah, so the only bad thing about this movie or the trailer is like it looks like it does show the entire movie a little bit. But it's a movie based on real life, so you know how it ends. You know he ends up like playing Rocky and being successful after this, but I don't know. Is there a movie out there that you would like to see made like this? Like where you're like, oh, okay, how do they move that? How do they make that movie? How do they put it together?
I mean, just to piggyback off of what our main topic is today, I guess the Odyssey, because they went all over the world shooting that movie.
That would be cool. I mean, Disney Plus, I think, does have like a cool little documentary, like a special look into the movie. Talks about a little bit where they went to and stuff like that, but like that's not really a movie form. It's just a documentary. I would like to see a movie similar to the I Play Rocky style, but for like the first Star Wars movie, like how they got that off the ground. That'd be pretty cool and interesting.
I think pretty cool. Dune was a big inspiration for that. The
Yeah.
book's not. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. But that would be incredible to see. Like, why do you think? Because I think Dune has tried to be in a movie form before too. Like, it was a movie, I think, at one point, right?
David Lynch shot a Dune movie in the 80s.
Why do you think that got picked up a lot bigger? I mean, Star Wars got picked up way more than that one.
Well, Star Wars came out before that. Star Wars, the original one came out in the 70s. So it was just there first. The Star Wars trilogy was out before that movie even came out.
Have you think it been reversed? Like, we would be only like Dune would be way bigger?
Are we talking about like Dennis Villanova's Dunes or the David Lynch Dune?
David Lynch.
Oh no. Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. It's not like how Dune is today.
Okay. I mean, I like to see like a little bit of horror movies too, like I Play Rocky style, like maybe the first Halloween movie or even Nightmare on Elm Street.
I was thinking that same one, Halloween. I think that'd be a cool one.
Yeah, but speaking of horror movies, our next topic is like a Nightmare on Elm Street remake is in the works by Paramount. I believe it's going to be a streaming show, if I'm not mistaken. But how do you feel about that?
I don't like that.
No,
I don't
why
like
not?
that they're turning like Friday the 13th got a streaming show now. Legally Blonde has a streaming show now. I don't like that they're turning movies into shows. I don't know.
I can see that too. But we kind of work with like stuff like The Mandalorian, like where it's
Well,
already
the Mandalorian was a show before it was the movie, and the movie is just like an hour and a half long episode anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, like the franchise was a movie before, like Star Wars, was a movie. Like the world existed before he was a streaming show. But yeah, my next topic was too. They're already making a Friday the 13th prequel called Crystal Lake. That's going to be premiering on October 15th on Peacock. Now, if they're going to do this, I really wish they would just do a Monster World and convert all these in the same universe. That would be kind of sick to hear like little references here and there. And then you could lead up to a Freddy vs. Jason kind of show or big peek in the thing. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I like Freddy vs. Jason. That's a pretty funny movie.
It's hilarious. And I think it would still work today if they tried doing it.
I agree.
My co-host Brandon is a big Tom Cruise fan. I know you are a little bit too, but have you seen the full trailer for Digger?
Yeah, that movie looks sick. And he looks nothing like Tom Cruise, which I think is fun.
He looks awesome in this movie. It kind of reminds me of The Mule a little bit with the directing style.
You talking about the Clint Eastwood movie?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't do the two comparisons.
But Tom Cruise looks incredible. He's unrecognizable. He does full method in this. Like if we didn't know it was Tom Cruise, I could see people thinking it was completely somebody else. John Goodman's in this movie. He's looking old though, but he looks like he's gonna be good in this movie.
Jesse Plemons as well.
Jesse Plemons is the fucking man, dude. He's probably one of the standout actors for like last year too.
I agree. He's a very underrated actor. I like that Tom Cruise. Yeah, I like that Tom Cruise is finally doing a comedy movie because the few comedy parts he has had, like in Austin Powers and Tropic Thunder, he killed those.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just a big fan of movies too. Did you see he took the entire AMC crew to go see the Odyssey like over the weekend?
I did read that.
He's just the man, dude. He's the man. I like him on everything. He's kind of, I don't know how he is in person. I remember like he was under controversy in his real life, like just being like weirdo and all obsessed with Scientology church
stuff. Yeah.
But I feel like you haven't heard anything about that in like a super long time. Like with him, at least, we heard stuff about the church, but I don't know. Tom Cruise is the man. I hope he makes movies till the day he dies because he's the best.
Oh, he will. He will. Soon enough, him and Christopher Nolan probably gonna make a movie together.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. I think
That'd be
Christopher
tight.
Nolan said like his next movie wouldn't be for like another 3 years or so.
All his movies are 3 years apart.
That's what I was thinking because the game includes like I did look up every year he made it. They're usually around 2 to 3 years apart. So I mean, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah, since Interstellar, they've all been 3 years apart. Excuse me.
Are you a big fan of the God of War video games?
I played the original, but I didn't like continue on to the franchise.
Well, do you know that they are making a TV show based off of that?
I did
Yeah.
see that, and I saw Kratos is going to get recast or something.
Kratos is going to be recast in the live-action God of War after Ryan Hurst tore his bicep during a stunt and later went into surgery. Months of shooting already passed, and they already filmed like the first 4 episodes, and they're going to have to go back and restart from scratch with a brand new character, which means it had to be that bad where you can't really do anything. I mean, if you're willing to like spend money and start completely over and like not spend money and like just to put production on hold, I mean, it's got to be a pretty big injury, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm complaining because I'm probably not going to watch this TV show. I never really was into the game like that. But I don't know. Paramount is kind of the weakest for me so far. The weakest streaming system.
I might check it out. I never really played Fallout, but I like that streaming show.
Okay. And you just texted me. Actually, you kind of blew my mind earlier. Like when you talked about Christopher Nolan's brother was like one of the people who wrote that show.
Yeah, he's a big writer on that show.
Yeah. And the biggest news I got from last week, we did lose a big celebrity. Sam Neill passed away with over 150 credits in his name with like between movie and television. That was kind of a shocking one. That was kind of not on my radar for 2026, I would say. But
yeah, I don't know what he passed away from. It was probably something. He wasn't that old.
No, he wasn't that old. They did just release it not too long ago. Damn, I can't remember what it was, but it was something that he had. It's something that like it wasn't like just a heart attack or nothing like that. It's something he had that kind of caused it, unfortunately. But it's been pretty touching to see like all like Spielberg's tribute to him, like say some words about him, and then his co-stars from Jurassic Park. He had a good life. He had a good acting career. So I mean, he will be remembered. That was a pretty big loss to Hollywood, I would say. He's the one I would look out for the most, I would say, unless something crazy happens. But like, and we losing out to someone else. But for like the Oscar, the little section for the memorials.
Probably.
Yeah.
The dinosaur man.
Yeah. That's the biggest like stuff I got for Hollywood news right now. But let's go into Odyssey a little bit. We talked about how tickets went on sale over a year ago. They sold out like crazy. When did you buy your ticket?
I bought my ticket to see it at 10 p.m. on Thursday. I got lucky and I happened to find 2 good seats that were in the middle. And I think I bought that 3 weeks ago.
I think mine like a little bit over a week ago because you texted me yours. And okay, that reminds me to buy mine too. And I bought mine at our little IMAX here too. Like it's an AMC IMAX, so it's not a true IMAX. And this thing was packed. I went on like 6 o'clock showing, and I did find pretty decent seats. Actually, it wasn't that bad at all. Now I'll talk about this a little bit more, but a little later. But I had a friend who additionally wanted to come with us too, and it's okay. Let me see if there's seats available. Like there was probably like 6 seats available left in the entire theater, and so happily one of them was right next to me too. So I'm like, okay, that fucking worked out perfect.
Nice. Yeah, I heard people were clapping in your theater too.
Did people were not copying yours?
Nope. I didn't hear a peep in my theater. I didn't even see a phone out. We were all so captivated.
That's kind of surprising because, like, yeah, there were scenes in this episode like where I don't know if you felt excited, and we'll talk about those later. But yeah, people did clap. People clapped at the very end too. It was pretty awesome to see. People were locked in for the most part. I did see like maybe 1 or 2 phones like in front of us, but they were pretty quick with it. But everyone was locked in. And I was even looking around like, damn, this is kind of cool. Like all of us are here together enjoying this movie for like 3 hours, Not too many people even got out to use the bathroom. Like everyone was pretty solid for the movie etiquette, I would say.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the clapping in the theaters and stuff. Like,
why?
What are you clapping for?
You don't even like for the Avengers movie or nothing like that? You don't like that?
I mean, no.
It's insane.
That's for kids movies. That's for kids.
What
This
kids
is a
movie
rated
would you
R
clap?
film. This is a rated R film. We're not doing that here.
That's insane. That's kind of who hurt you? Like just to show happiness.
What? I mean, who are they clapping for? It's not like Christopher Nolan and Matt Damon are there.
You could say the same thing about a sports event. Like they're not going to care who's clapping for them.
Well, at least the athletes can hear you clapping and applauding them.
People do it at their house when someone gets like a touchdown or scores a basket. That's not different at all.
That's way different.
That is not different.
That is way different.
But yeah, I was excited about that. But this movie also did something cool. I don't know if you got one too, but like they were handing out posters for this movie. Did you get one?
No, I did not get one.
Really? Okay, I got pretty lucky then because like they were handing out posters, and not one of those small posters that they usually do, like the maybe like a foot tall. It was like a full on poster of the thing they were just handing out to everybody. It was very cool. They gave it to you, but you had to roll it up yourself, which kind of sucked, and because it was kind of awkward to hold through the movie. But and then I bought the popcorn bucket. It was packed. Like the concession stand was packed, and I'm an AMC Premiere Pass, so I mean sometimes I'll go in that line too. But people are just like they take that shit too serious because the line for the AMC Pass was long. Like it was outside in the hall.
Wow.
No one was in the regular line, so I was like, I'm just gonna go with the regular line. What the fuck is that?
People probably didn't even know they were in the AMC line. They just saw a line and got in it.
Probably. I didn't even think about that. The trailers leading up to this movie were exciting. Like we got the first teaser trailer like a year ago, where it was like the scene with Tom Holland and John Berthol's character having like a little monologue between each other, and it was very cool like a year ago. Then we got the first trailer, I believe, towards the beginning of the year, and the hype is just building up ever since then. Do you think? I mean, because the Nolan before this movie, the Oppenheimer was a very big anticipated. I wouldn't say movie premiere. It was an event, like especially because it was also Barbenheimer with Barbie.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Do you think like the hype was deserved, or do you think they just strategically I don't know, like I feel like Christopher Nolan, I'm dropping a movie next year, not even release a trailer, people are gonna go see it no matter what and excited for it. Do you think like the people are there for the actual plot that they're excited for to see it, or just because it's a Christopher Nolan movie?
Well, I think this is a very timeless story, the Odyssey. It's been told for thousands and thousands of years and many different versions of it. I think just attaching Christopher Nolan's name definitely made people hyped for that too, because people know a Nolan film is going to be a great movie,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he could. I think he can say, "Yeah, I'm dropping a movie next year, not release a trailer." I'll be there. I know a lot of other people will be there too.
Yeah. Do you were you familiar with the Odyssey story before this? Like, are you into Greek mythology, or like at least find some interest in it?
Some interest. I didn't know about the Odyssey story. I know more about the Iliad, the Trojan War, than I did know about Odysseus's journey home. So I kind of went into this movie blind. I didn't really know what to expect.
I'm mostly the same way. I knew about all these gods and stuff like that. I knew the story of Troy. The Odyssey, it's kind of surprising, but we kind of knew about it because there's so many different adaptations of it. Like this movie the story has inspired so many movies throughout the history of time. Like you don't even think about Finding Nemo was inspired by the Odyssey. Like it was by about a father trying to find his way to his son, but he keeps running the obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. We see that in quite a few movies. If you don't, but you don't think about it that way. And
Hell, Interstellar is kind of like the Odyssey.
Yeah, very much so. But to see Christopher Nolan pick up this, he's the one who wrote it too, which is so it's like a passion project for him a little bit too. So to see him,
He writes all of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
His brother used to co-write with him a lot, but he doesn't work together anymore for some reason.
Do you think there's a falling out?
Maybe. Jonathan Nolan hasn't helped write a project since Interstellar. That was 12 years ago.
And he's probably like 6 or 7 movies come out since then. Maybe like 5 or 6, but
Dunkirk, Tenet, Oppenheimer, and the Odyssey.
You're such a Christopher Nolan fan. Nice.
There's only 4
Nice.
movies.
Yeah. The hype for this movie was real. I love seeing the trailer every single time walking in the theaters. The fact that we're here already, like you said, I do want to see it again. That it was 3 hours. That 3 hours flew by. It did not feel like 3 hours at all. The action was cool, and then by the time I heard a couple podcasts because the marketing for this movie has been pretty crazy. Like everyone's been pairing off, because this movie is filled with nothing but celebrities, and everyone's been pairing off, giving cool little stories behind the scenes and how what it was like to work with Nolan and traveling all these different places and how they shot some of these shots. Because almost I would say 90% of this movie was practicality. Like they had an actual giant puppet there, and they had actual that scene in the forest where they're fighting those giant knights or people in armor, you want to call them. They weren't really big. It was just for placement of the camera, foreshadowing. It's dude, like you said, I want to see a whole documentary on how they made this movie. It's incredible. It has to be studied.
Even the dolphins in the beginning when he first starts sailing away from Troy, those are real. Those just happen to be there.
That's pretty sick. The boat that they shot on, it was a real Viking boat.
The storms they were in, those were real storms. I read that the whirlpool, he had jet skis going around in a circle to create that too.
I didn't know that. That's pretty sick. Yeah, they refurbished the old Viking ship, and I think they had worked a total of 4 ships. But yeah, like you said, they were nighttime shooting. They only had the actual lights from the torches that were lit around them, or the lamps, or whatever you want to call them. And then Christopher Nolan. It was Christopher Nolan and the cast, and then obviously the camera operator and maybe one AD on the ship. And there was somebody on the side of the boat with a hose spraying everybody. Dude, it's so incredible the lengths that the actors were so on board, and the fact that Christopher Nolan was also there doing the same stuff with him. It's not like he was watching from a video village down the street or something like that. Mm-hmm. And the cast was pretty generous. So he's not going to ask you to do anything he's not going to do himself, which is incredible. Like the cave shot, they shot an actual cave. He was in there trapped in there with them.
Nestor's cave, supposedly the birthplace of Zeus.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I've been doing deep diving into mythology too after this movie.
Yeah, I've been reading so much about this movie. The opening scene was kind of a jump scare, though. Didn't expect to see Travis Scott drop the first line of the movie.
That was gonna bring that up because you texted me as like, dude, like, is he in this movie? I was like, and I was like, no, that might be just Twitter talk. And then the trailer dropped and he was there. Yeah, but like you said, I did think that in my mind. Like he's the very first person you see and the very first line in the movie. It's kind of a big deal. And I heard an interview like why Travis Scott, like why do they want a rapper to be in this movie, like to be the storyteller? And his reasoning was like, well, like rappers are storytellers too. So I mean, like, so he kind of, I don't know what made him pick Travis Scott.
He just liked Travis Scott.
Cool for
Even
him,
during the credits, that was a Travis Scott song playing.
Cool for him. I mean, just be a Satan. Do you think? I also think that like
Travis Scott's not the.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Travis Scott's not the first musician he's had in his movies either. He had Harry Styles in Dunkirk, and he had David Bowie in The Prestige.
Okay, I knew about Harry Styles. I did not know about David Bowie.
David Bowie played Nikola Tesla in The Prestige.
Hell yeah, dude. Do you think? Because I was thinking about this before the movie was released. Like, do we really need all these stars of the cast? But then I was like, dude, if you can afford it and everyone's on board. Why not have this many celebrities? Like these A-listers are part of the movie.
I like an ensemble cast. It's fun, especially when it's done right. And it's not like, I think Elliot Page, Zendaya, and Louisa, dang, I don't want to butcher her last name, but they all had less than like 5 minutes of screen time. It's not like everybody was hogging the screen either.
I thought that too. I was like, what? Especially because like Elliot Page's character, like before, like so like that when they got to the Hades Island, I was like, people make a big fuss about this. She was in it for like 2 minutes. So I was like, well, who cares? But then she did have a pretty big role toward later the end. But same thing with Zendaya. Zendaya, like, she was in it throughout the whole movie. She probably had a total time of 3 minutes of screen time the entire movie. But like I said, it's not miscast at all. I really did enjoy seeing her those 3 minutes. She did outshine in those scenes she was in. Same thing with Lupita and, every other little actor who had smaller screen time. John Bernthal didn't have much screen time as I thought he was going to, but he still killed it in his roles. I did see a review of somebody, this other podcaster or TikToker, kind of hate on Tom Holland. They're saying he was kind of miscast in this movie. I didn't agree with that at all. I liked him. I enjoy Tom Holland in this movie.
I thought he played his role well. He was definitely the weakest link, I would say, compared to all the other actors. This is kind of like his first like non-superhero video game movie that I can think of.
He had Apple TV with Cherry. He had another one that was on Hulu, if I can't remember. It was like a sci-fi one where all the men, all their thoughts projected outside their head, like in voice form and like visual form. It was kind of weird. It's kind of odd placement, but that was like a lesser known movie. He's been in other few movies, but this is probably definitely the hands down besides Spider-Man the biggest thing he's ever been a part of.
Yeah, and I like that he said, like in interviews I've been reading and stuff, that he's like, once I got back to Marvel after shooting with Christopher Nolan, we changed a lot of things up.
Yeah. I mean, he got offered this, and Marvel allowed him to push back shooting Spider-Man for this movie, which is incredible. So good for doing that.
The new Spider-Man also looks incredible.
The new Spider-Man? Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
This is going to be the best one for sure.
We talked about it on the podcast. I think we both said we were a little bit more excited for the Odyssey versus Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. I'm not saying that I'm hating on The Brand New Day. I'm going to see that one probably I already have scheduled to see it 2 or 3 times already. This one I'm going to see again for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Odyssey again in 70mm. That's going to be awesome.
We're going to, at the end of the review, we're going to talk about Oscar nominations. Who do you think will be nominated and stuff like that too. This movie had a budget of over $250 million to produce, plus an additional $125 million global marketing. This movie needs to make $500 to $600 million to break even. I think it made opening night on Thursday, preview night, 75 or 80 million. So, I mean, it's going to get there. It's going to cross $1 billion mark. I am predicting this is going to cross $1 billion mark.
It's going to break even past this weekend. I can't wait to see Monday how many people saw this movie over the weekend.
I'm very excited for the numbers too, because like Toy Story 5 has been up like dominating for the past few weeks. It's been out. The Minions is also dominating right now too. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to compare for an opening weekend, like how much is going to brush away those things. Toy Story is going to break it even. I mean, not break even, break $1 billion. Minions, I don't know, probably not, but close to. I could see them making 750, but maybe not more, maybe a little bit more. But we had 2 movies, Michael break $1 billion and the Super Mario Galaxy one. I'm predicting this is going to break $1 billion. I'm predicting maybe Doomsday might be the only other movie breaking $1 billion. Maybe Dune, but that's kind of hard to say for me.
No, Dune Part 3 is going to make a ton of money. That newest trailer they've dropped for Dune, I've watched that so many times. They can show that in theaters. I'd pay to go see it. That trailer is amazing.
Do you think, what if they casted Timothée Chalamet instead of Tom Holland in this movie? How would you feel about that?
I mean, Timothée kills every role he does, so
yeah.
I think he's one of our top actors right now. He ain't no Robert Pattinson, but he's up there.
Yeah, trust me, I set aside plenty of time for Robert to have Hansen talk later, so we're good on that. See, we talked about the filming and locations on set, like the actual film locations that they shot in was Greece, Italy, Morocco, Scotland, Iceland, and Los Angeles, and even filmed on sea, like we talked about in Practical. They're in the middle of the sea on this freaking little like boat, dude. Like it's incredible. I want to see footage of how they're doing this stuff. Like, and we're starting to see more pictures and stuff like that released. Like I've seen the giant puppet. Have you seen the puppet video picture? That thing is creepy as hell.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of them with the giant IMAX camera on the boat and stuff too.
I've seen that too.
They also had to create a whole new like box to put the camera in because it's so loud. So they had to create some soundproofing thing to put it in as well.
That is true, and they also because they had to put that box around it, they created an obstacle. Like, okay, now the camera is just too big, and it's blocking each other's view, the people's views from looking at each other. So they had to build mirrors around the camera so that they can reflect the actors on the other side, so they can like talk to them directly face to face a little bit. Wow. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
This movie had an all-star cast. It has 5 Oscar winners. Can you name all 5 Oscar winners? Because there's a ton of nominees, but there's only 5 winners.
Ooh, is Matt Damon? Is he an Oscar winner?
Matt Damon is one of them.
What did he win an Oscar for? Good Will Hunting. Ooh, who else has Anne Hathaway? Has she won an Oscar?
Anne Hathaway is number 2.
What did she win for?
Don't ask me that. I didn't look that part up.
Oh wow.
You mentioned one of them you mentioned 2 of them by names already.
Has Robert Pattinson won an Oscar?
No, he has been nominated though.
Yeah, I've mentioned 2 of them. Oh, Lupita.
Lupita is third one. Damn, what was it? The Help?
Did she win for 12 Years a Slave? Wasn't she in that movie?
It was either The Help or that one. Okay, yeah, but you also named someone else too earlier.
Who else I named earlier? Elliot Page.
Elliot Page. She also won one too.
She went for Did he win for Juno?
I think yes, I believe it was Juno. Sorry. And this one we haven't mentioned also, but she is a big part of the movie. She only has scenes with Matt Damon, if that helps you.
Oh, is it that Charlize
Theron? Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, there's a ton of people in this cast who has nominations, but those are only big 5 winners. Yeah.
You know who had a very shocking, really good role in this movie? I can't think of his name, but he was the star of Yesterday. He was
Hamish.
Person 8.
Hamish.
Really good. I thought he played that role really well.
I think he deserved to be top 3 built because he has like besides Matt Damon, I think the most screen time than everybody else. Like even more than Tom Holland, I would say. But his chemistry with Matt Damon and like they're back and forth. He was fucking the man. I liked him a lot in this movie. I loved him in Yesterday. That's probably my top 10 movies. I hate to say that because like I don't know, but it's my top 10. I loved him. I love him in everything he does. He was also in his other Christopher Nolan movie with Robert Pattinson. Tenet, yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen the show The Franchise on HBO, but he stars in that as well. It's like the studio. They're making shows. It's behind the scenes in the studio.
Isn't that a BBC show?
No, it's a HBO show.
Okay, I did see that. Like I did see he was in there too, but yeah. What else do we got here before this? That's all I got for that. Let's go to the actual movie then. The movie opens up with Travis Scott's. It's a tale old as time. This movie because it's over 3,000 years old. This is directly after the Troy War. So this movie picks up. And for those of you who weren't familiar for the story, because I'm lucky. I'm so glad I looked up the story of the Odyssey before to kind of know what I'm expecting to see. Because if I didn't do that, I kind of would have been lost. I would say because this movie does time jump a little bit in the beginning, like from the war, then after the war, then like you also see Tom Holland as a baby, and then you see him growing up. It's a little bit confusing in the beginning, but once you get into the meat of the story, it's fucking a roller coaster ride.
It kind of felt like how Project Hail Mary felt because he didn't have his memory, so he was kind of building his memory back up, just like Gosling, Project Hail Mary.
Same thing. I read that book before that movie. I saw the movie, and I'm so glad I did because like it had a lot more context in the book than what the movie. So I don't know. I mean, it pays off to do homework before you watch a movie, I guess.
Yeah. I read Catching Fire, and then I watched the Catching Fire movie, and I actually liked the movie less after reading the book.
The book is always going to be better, dude. I actually put in my queue for. I'm finishing the last Harry Potter book right now on audiobooks, but I'm going to listen to the Odyssey books, I think, like that. Because there's Odyssey, there's like stories about Achilles, the Trojan War. There's like 2 other books, too, that you could read before
the one about the Trojan War and Achilles, that's called the Iliad.
Iliad, too. I'm excited about that because I'm sure, like, if I love this movie, I'm sure I'm going to love the books, too. Like, they probably have so much more cooler shit in this one, too. And I knew that the story did include, like, Cyclops and, like, them being turned into pigs and then, the mermaids. I was like, so curious how they're gonna do it. Are they gonna have actual people play gods, like, and have them come down like Zeus or something? And we're gonna see Zeus, how they were gonna do it. And the movie was pretty grounded until they get into that cave and we see the giant. It's like, oh, okay, like this is okay. That's just a reality. Like the people like this exist. Like these giants exist. I was pretty cool that they really did not hold back at all. This movie is rated R, as you mentioned. Do you think it deserved to be rated R? Because I kind of think it could have got away with a PG-13.
I think it's right. I think rated R is good. Language and violence.
But like there really is no blood other than the blood that they sacrifice, like the sheep in this movie.
Yeah, but there's still I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bloodshed at the end of it.
Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 scenes max I could see.
And
like,
then when they finally break down when they open up the door to Troy and everybody comes into the village and starts like pillaging and stuff. That's
see
violent.
decapitations. Yeah. So the opening scene of this movie, like they just dive right in with the celebrities. Like you see Tom Holland at the table, and there really was no like build up for like a character reveal, other than one character I'll talk about in a little bit. But there really was no character reveal. Like you just seen Robert Pattinson chilling at the table, like right there. Like like it was cool to just dive right in the story.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson, and they catered to these people who are trying to marry Anne Hathaway's Penelope's character wife, because her husband Odysseus has gone away fighting this war, and it's been like 20 years, and she is still holding out faith that he's alive, and she's trying to hold all time for him to come back because she is supposed to remarry for a new king. Dude, these people have been coming to the house every single day trying to marry this chick, and she's just feeling it. Is not feeling it. My first thing in my mind is like, how much food and wine there is.
She has to be nice to them.
Well, she was respectfully. I think she was pretty respectful for the most part, like keeping her distance. Like she was at least out there, like so they can see her every day. But man, like how much money does this guy have? That he's feeding all these people. He's not even there. Like how much resources these guys have? They've been feeding them for every single night for 20 years. At this point, it's like a homeless shelter, I felt like.
Well, the suitors were only there for a few years. They weren't there for the whole time.
I guess so, but still, it's a lot of money. We also see in the beginning John Leguizamo's character, who he plays Amias, if I'm saying that right. I think he's probably my top 3 actors in this movie. Like he did such a good job in this movie. He's a standout. I thought he was gonna have a very smaller role, like in this one, but he was a pretty big chunk of it and a pretty big like motivation for some characters in this movie. I think he was awesome in this movie. I'm a big fan of his too. I believe he is a nominated Oscar winner too, but I could see him being nominated again for this role. He was amazing in this one. The blonde guy.
Yeah, the blind slave.
The blind slave.
That's what he was.
Yeah. And then we go back and forth between Trojan War. Elliot Page is another first one too, like one of the very first people you see in this movie. And like you said, his character was pretty short, and like I was not expecting his voice to be that deep. But he was good in this, especially like when we talk about her, the Hades Island. She was good. He was good in this movie. He was really good.
He volunteered to be the soldier left behind to offer up the gift to the Trojans, and then immediately took the arrows in the beginning.
Like these people were not fucking around. But that horse was immaculate that they built.
I mean, yeah, if you've been fighting somebody for 10 years right outside your gate, you're not going to be nice when one person's left behind.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time believing that they built that horse out of parts of their ship, and it to look that good. That was kind of incredible to see.
Yeah,
it was a finely made horse.
Yeah, I like the way this horse looked better than the one in Troy. I mean, yeah, the one in Troy, in the movie Troy, they like made it look like it was part of a ship, but I like this one actually looked like an actual gift to a god.
Yeah, because if like, someone gifted me that one that they did in Troy, like, get this shit on my porch. I don't want to see this shit. This one I would be proud to hang up. And the incredible part about this, Brandon, I don't know if you read about this. Dude, they were actually inside that horse. There was 20 actors in that horse, plus Christopher Nolan, plus the cameraman, plus an AD, all crammed in there. It's hot. And, did they need to do that? Probably not. But like the fact that they did do it, it's so respectable.
The scene inside of the horse is like one of the best scenes for me in the movie. I think that was awesome. The way it showed him, like, people were drowning in there. They had that little tube to breathe in the water. They were like peeing and pooping on each other, throwing up on each other. Like it was real.
For like a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, and they were in there for like 3 days. And I like that when Matt Damon first came out of the horse inside of Troy, I like that he also like stumbled a little bit, couldn't walk correctly because he hasn't walked in days and he's been jammed somewhere.
I thought that such attention to detail. They talk about like little details like their fingernails being extremely dirty in this whole movie too. And yeah, there was little details that was fucking amazing in this one too. I did notice that detail, and that was incredible too. Like not just him, but like everyone did that. And Yeah. And that scene where like Hamish puts that earwax in his ear, I was reading like he was told specifically, okay, I need to clearly see you put that wax in your ear because like as soon as you do it, like we're gonna cut the audio like to like your point of view. Genius, like genius Mark. Christopher Nolan is a fucking man when he comes to think about this shit.
Yeah. I also read that Matt Damon didn't know when he opened up the doors to Troy that many people were gonna run through. He thought it was only gonna be like 25 guys, not like 500. Also,
yeah, okay.
was that Benny Sadfi who played Agamemnon?
I was gonna bring him up right now too. Like,
he aura farmed the whole movie. I loved it,
dude. That was exactly the same exact word I was gonna about to say. He had such an aura in this movie, and to see it like you know who he is in real life, I was like, this is not the same guy. But I mean, he did get in shape. He did get in like a better shape for this movie because I seen him on the red carpet premiere, him doing an interview. Like because he was also in that movie last year with Happy Gilmore 2. Total looking goofball this one, but this one he's like a physique to him. You know, you don't even see his face in this movie or the Foley, I would say. But
when he was in when he was in Oppenheimer, he was a little chubby.
Yeah, but man, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it was the armor too. And he talked about like, yeah, like it's just one thing wearing the armor, but you also have to like, this is also supposedly armor that they would really wear back then too. So you have to really figure out how to move in this thing too. And yeah, his character just aura farming the entire time. He was badass in this movie, even though you don't see him do anything really besides get killed.
Yeah, him getting killed was kind of. And a part they added in was him sacrificing his daughter before he even left to war. I had no idea that was going to happen.
No, that was kind of, that kind of took me back a little bit. But he even just seeing him walking in the war, like he looked like fucking Iron Man in there, you know, like walking in that war. He was pretty badass.
Yeah, he was just standing there when they opened up the door and everybody's running around him. He looked awesome.
Was the guy, we were talking about Fast and Furious earlier, was the guy from Tokyo Drift in this movie too? Was that him in part of his army? Han, yeah. I'm pretty sure I think he was the one who, like, when they were in the mermaids, he was the one who jumped in the sea.
No, that wasn't it.
You sure? Like, he's just like
more than positive.
Okay. But yeah, there were so many cool things about this movie, and then from there we see like, well, we talked about the Cyclops a little bit, and they go to the island where they get turned into pigs by the other god. Like, I can't remember her name too, but Cersei. I was curious how they're going to do this role too. Like I knew they're getting turned into pigs, but I know like, and then you see them walking past other animals like a lion, like a puma, you know, like you see the deer too. That was a pretty cool reveal for the deer, like how he shoots him and he turns into a man. Yeah. So you know some of those creepy what's going to happen, and that was kind of formed like a horror. It was like a body horror scene almost.
It was. This movie was kind of dark.
It was extremely dark. You know, the more that we talk about it, the more I can't see that. Yeah, it's rated R.
Also, in the story, the Odyssey, like the book, they stay there for a year after they like get turned back into people, and Odysseus has a child with her.
Was it her or the other goddess?
No, he has a child. He has a child with Cersei because they stay there for a year after he gets his men turned back into people.
Interesting.
I don't think him and Calypso have a kid.
Okay, because she was mostly in love with him, and he was just like getting his mind erased every day. I think he didn't even know he was on there for like a few years, and then because he thought it was like 1 or 2 days.
He was there for 8 years before he figured it out.
And I think it's only because she allowed him to figure it out too. Like,
yeah,
she kind of felt bad.
She was feeding him the lotus flower that erased his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But his heart was strong and still yearned for Penelope.
Yeah, I can't, man. We'll talk about the end in a minute because I can't wait to talk about that. But I want to talk about that scene a little bit more, like where they get turned into pigs, just to see them get molded into humans and like turned back into it.
Yeah, when she's pulling out his mouth and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It stuck her whole fist in that dude's throat. Yeah, dude, that wasn't crazy. And then they get back on the ship. But, they're still cursed because they can't really god of water or something like that. So they're still pissed at them for stabbing the Cyclops in the eye.
Yes, the Cyclops is Poseidon's son, but Odysseus kept calling him a nobody and then blinded him. And as soon as they got back to the ship, the crew was like, that was Poseidon's son, and now we're cursed.
Mm-hmm. And there is a joke in the book that, like, with the Cyclops ask, what is your name? And then Osiris goes like, nobody. My name is nobody. So then like in the book, there are other giants on the island too. So he's calling out to all these giants like, nobody is escaping. Nobody is hurting me or something like that. So because of that, no one really takes him seriously. Like, okay, no one's fucking hurting them. So what? Who cares? And then like they escape. And then Osiris, just as a brag, is like, oh, by the way, my name isn't nobody. It's Osiris. And then that's when like he prays to his father to curse them, and then that's when he just gets cursed on the ocean. Some people, everyone did notice that, who knows the story, did notice right away that was left out of this movie, and then Christopher Nolan did acknowledge that, and he said, like, it's just a gag. It's a gag, and it's kind of hard to make it work with the tone, like, to make it like seem like a joke a little bit. He just couldn't figure out how to work that into this movie, and I kind of agree. That'd be kind of hard to have him joke around with that when his main mission is to make sure his men get safe. Like in the book, I would say like he is more of like a cocky asshole. Like how the scene where they were driving past the mermaids, he's like, he didn't want to put the wax in either because like, I want to be the first one to hear these mermaid and get away with it too, So he kind of he wanted the stories under his belt basically. So I mean, it's kind of surprising he didn't include that in this movie too, I guess.
It also shows the hubris of man and the cockiness of it all and the downfall from that.
Yeah, that's a good point to look at it too. You also see his decision making with you mentioned the whirlpool, to drive past the whirlpool or go to this valley, who could be like to fight the 6-headed serpent, if you want to call it. Those things are creepy. Like, those things are creepy.
Skyla.
Skyla.
That's what that monster's called.
The fact that they came out of that little hole inside the wall, that was creepy as fuck to me. Like that gave me chills. That was the thing. It kind of looked like Rocky.
We didn't even see the main body of it.
No, it kind of looked like Rocky a little bit with like little tentacles coming out.
And he knew that was going to happen. That's why he wanted to go through the whirlpool.
Yeah.
Because when he went to the underworld and the blind guy crawled out of the ground to tell him how his journey home is going to go, that was part of it, that he was going to lose men there. That's why he was like, oh, we got to go through the whirlpool.
In that scene, let's backtrack a little bit then to go to that Hades Island, because like Elliot Page's character.
I love that.
Yeah, Elliot Page's character in that. I mean, that scene with his character was so strong because it really connects to Robert Pattinson's character later. That scene was changed because in the book, he actually talks to Achilles in that scene. Like but Achilles was not in this at all because like he wasn't in the Troy. He was in the Troy War, but
Achilles is in the horse. Like in the Iliad and stuff. He dies at the end of the Trojan War. So it was kind of surprising that Achilles isn't in this movie. He's mentioned one time, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
John Barrett, when John Baratheon was talking to Tom Holland, and he's like, "Oh, of all the generals I miss, it's not Achilles, it's not this guy, it's Odysseus."
And the fact, I like how they get the backstory too, like of the war. Of like, it really wasn't Odysseus' fight. Like he was recruited by Ben Safdie's character because like, hey, like we need help with we need help with this war. Like, you're the best. Would you fight along my side? And he agrees. I mean, I also like you hear Tom Holland, from Tom Holland's character, his son. We hear stories about his dad too, like to see his accomplishments and like, yeah, he was a skilled fighter and stuff like that. We do see flashbacks of him with his bow and staff, and like, dude, he was like a legend. He was a legend, rightfully so. He deserved everything that he got.
Yeah, he was the only one that can string his bow.
And also, I mean, I'm sure like Robin Hood is probably based off of him too a little bit.
Probably.
Have you seen that Hugh Jackman movie a couple weeks ago, Death of Robin Hood? I think you would enjoy that one too. That one's a really dark movie, but I think you would enjoy it.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the scene in the underworld when they went to Hades. I think that was Iceland, that Black Beach. I think that's in Iceland. Yeah, I liked when he talked to Agamemnon and when he's like, be wary, don't just go home. Welcome homes can be tricky sometimes. So if he never went there, he probably would have went straight back to his palace and not thought twice about it.
There was a scene in the beginning of the movie where Tom Holland is going through the suitors, and there was like an old homeless man that walks into, and he's like, "Hey, be kind to them, Zeus' law," stuff like that. I thought that right there, like, this better not be Matt Damon's character already. I didn't really come back full circle, and it wasn't, but I'm glad they didn't do that route. But yeah, he tells him like, "Hey, like." He gives him advice like, if you go home, I would disguise yourself. Like, take time to come home. Like, view what happened in your absence, because you've been gone for 20 years. You don't know how things changed. Yeah. And he did right so, and it was incredible. It was incredible how he did everything. And then you see him like interact with his son too, and his son he's been gone so long, his son doesn't even recognize him too. And but man,
Tom Holland only recognizes him because when Odysseus returns home, he sees Argos, the dog, and Argos finally passes away upon looking upon his master one last time. And Tom Holland saw that Temecula and it was like, welcome home, Odysseus.
Yeah. That was such a good scene. Matt Damon kills every look in this, like every different age. Like with his beard, he looked badass. I even told our friend Glenn, like, dude, his arms are fucking huge in this movie.
Yeah, he was ripped for this movie.
Yeah. And then let's take a pause. Let's talk about Robert Pattinson's character a little bit in this movie too, because he does play a villain in this movie, but he does it so good. To see him go toe to toe with Tom Holland in some scenes was phenomenal, and see him flirt, like shoot some riz at Anne Hathaway, Penelope's character, was pretty awesome to see. And then Mia Goth is in this movie too, and I told Glenn watching this movie, that's Shia LaBeouf's wife in real life, but she's also from the X Triple X movie and then the Pearl movie. Phenomenal actress, and to see her in that role was kind of shocking to see. Like I knew she was gonna be in this movie, but I didn't know who she was playing.
Yeah, she was the one that was banging Robert Pattinson and giving him information.
Yeah, but Robert Pattinson, and see him go with his the other character, Corey Hawkins' character, Polybus, and then like just shooting it up at the table. Like they were definitely the bullies. Like it felt like high school almost when they were talking, just like shitting on everyone else. But let's skip ahead to the ending with the just Pattinson's character. Man, was this guy such a coward at the end of this movie?
Yeah, they were throwing all the weapons through the floor, and he was just like shouting out what it was. Sword, go get the sword.
He didn't even want to attempt to do the bow challenge because he knew he couldn't do it. And then you see, oh man, it's not only just that, see how he was a coward there, but you also see how the character, like his cowardness, like rejecting the pin from his Elliot Page's characters. Like, was that his brother in real life? I mean, in the movie.
In the movie, Elliot Page was his little brother, and he volunteered to take his spot in the Trojan War.
Right, and then Odysseus was like, no, like he needs to do this. Like, you need to stay here and take care of your family. And then because of that, he took it upon himself, like, hey, like, and also look after my son too. Like, not even being serious about it, just like trying to make him feel better for not being picked for the war. And he kind of like throws that in Tom Holland's character's face later too. So because of that, he thinks that he's special because like Odysseus gave me an order to look after you. And then man, he was shooting his riz, and he almost got away with it too from seducing Penelope too. That was pretty cool to see until he said one slip up, but like until we have like our own kid, and it's just like, get the fuck out of my face, and she sends him away, and then he immediately goes sticks his tongue down Mia Goth's throat.
Yeah, he's a little slut.
He was so good though. Robert Pattinson is the fucking man. And then I've been sending you
he does all these different voices for his role, and he supposedly doesn't even have a voice coach. He just comes up with them himself.
That's because I know Tom Holland works with a voice coach too, because he also has a British accent too. But that's impressive to hear. Like I've been sending you lots of clips of like Robert Pattinson like interviewing. He's just a funny guy outside of acting too. So I mean, just to see he's like a bro almost. Like it makes it so much cooler to see him on screen. I really enjoyed the Mickey 17 movie with him in it. I don't think that was really loved enough as much as it should have been. But he's huh?
I did not like that movie.
I love that movie. That movie was awesome.
Nothing happens in it. Like literally nothing happened.
Okay. Damn, that pissed me off. But anyways, who else do we got here that we haven't talked about? We talked about Travis Scott a little bit. We'll talk about Anne Hathaway. She was awesome in this movie. She plays a strong queen, and it makes you. I liked how she saw through Tom Holland's like immaturity in this movie. And she's like, nah, your ass isn't ready to be king. Like I can't put that on you. And like, and he was like, dude, just marry somebody. So instead of like fighting like dozens of men, I'm only gotta worry about one. And even though like, if she marries any one of them, it's going to be troublesome because they're going to try being king their way and stuff like that. And she was also just still loyal and in love with Odysseus too, which I like that as, her character.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that she held out for so long, and she knew he was alive. She can feel it.
Yeah, and the whole story with the pin, like if you wear this, like on anyone, like a pin of, was it Athena, right? The Athena's pin. Like I need you to always wear this. So if I hear stories about you and they could tell me you were wearing that, I know they weren't bullshitting me. That was a pretty good deal. She was wise for a queen too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she held it down.
Huh?
Yeah, she held it down the whole time.
Hell yeah, she did. And in the scene, like where like let's get into spoiler territory. Let's get into spoiler territory because I think everyone should go see this movie. But I do want to talk about the ending and the third act in this movie. This movie is 3 hours long. I think it starts getting the stories start colliding between Tom Holland's world, what's going on in the castle, their home, and Matt Damon's character start colliding in the last hour. I would say he comes home and he discovers all this place. Tom Holland's character went out searching for his dad. He went out for a little bit voyage to see if he could find anything about his dad, and he didn't find him. But he also find out some truth about what happened in the war from people who were inside the war and what's going on the other side of the world. And they also get warned, hey, there's people from the sea who are going to be coming one of these days, and you guys need a suitor. You guys need a king. Like you can't just be defenseless. So like he goes home with a message to his mother, like, dude, we got to do something. We can't be just sitting here waiting for dad to come back because he might not come back. At the same time, coincidentally, this is also when Matt Damon was coming home. Odysseus was coming home too. So then they find out Robert Pattinson is just fed up with Tom Holland at this point. He's like, we're gonna take this guy out. He's the only one staying away from marrying this chick, so we're gonna take him out. And this is when Odysseus comes to meet up there, and they have the fucking. This is where people are clapping. Is when Odysseus went down to the little clay because Tom Holland went to go make a gift to like the priest or to whoever they're making the gift to. And this is where they were going to kill him. There were people posing to be priests there, and they were going to ambush him because they tell him to leave his men outside, leave their weapons outside, and they were just going to like ambush him with no defense. Odysseus comes in there, and people, as soon as he stabbed the first guy, that's when there was an abrupt applause in this movie. I thought that was pretty badass because you finally see some action in this movie. Yeah, the whole movie was like mostly them escaping things, and like, but this is like the first fighting you would see outside the war, because with the war we didn't even see too much of it until the very end. But that was a great scene to see. Like even then, I was like, he just took out a room full of men, and Tom Holland character just took out, like, he barely got away with taking out one guy. I think he had to get saved at the end. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, hey, for an old man, you're pretty good at this. I was like, that was your first reaction? Like, anyways. And I was like, and then they go to the scene. Odysseus goes up to his castle, and he sees all these suitors. And I told Glenn in there, I was like, can you imagine walking in this room and knowing all these guys are trying to fuck your wife? Like, I'll be pissed if I walk in and see that.
Yeah, I think he was.
And then, he has words with it. He still hasn't revealed himself. Like, good for these guys, because he even, like, has a scene with Robert Pattinson where he pretends to beg for food. And he realized no one really respects Zeus's law anymore in this thing. So he really got a feel for this dude. Robert Pattinson got in his face. And that scene where he gives him that pin for like, this is from your brother. And he's like, this shit ain't for me. But that scene alone was fucking awesome to see between them as actors too. Like Robert Pattinson threw the chair at him. Incredible scene. And then this is also where people started to cheer too, when he strings his own bow and he does like that harp move where you like, I don't even know what you want to call it, like flick it and it makes a sound. Mm-hmm. How Penelope knew right away that was him just from that one sound. Everyone cheered from that alone too, like, oh shit, this is about to go down. Like, we knew it was coming down because they boarded up the door and everything like that. That's crazy. That's crazy how you did not feel any excitement about that. Like enough to like make a choice.
But I'm not gonna collapse because I respect the theater atmosphere.
Everyone did it except Glenn. Anyways, but then that was an intense scene. They went to town. That was a pretty incredible scene together. Again, I pointed out to my friend, like, he took out this entire room of people, and Tom Holland struggles with one guy. And then he immediately leaves the throne to his son. And I was like, geez, like, I would put some more combat training on your belt before I give you this fucking throne, dude. But that whole fighting scene was incredible, Brandon. I was hyped by the end of it. It almost felt like an ending to an Avengers movie.
Yeah, after he shoots the arrow through the axe and then just started shooting arrows at everybody. He even took a couple arrows himself.
Yeah, at the end of like he finally gets through everybody, and he stands up with like 2 or 3 arrows in his back. That was kind of badass though. And like
I was gonna say, I like his monologue at the end too, where he reveals to Penelope that he's actually the people from the sea, because he's the one that broke trust between man by giving the gift and then using that as a weapon of destruction.
That is one of my favorite scenes because, like I mentioned before about Zendaya's character, we see her throughout this movie. And then you figure out why he's seen Zendaya please. He's seen the goddess Athena, but it's not really the goddess. It's he gave it a face, and the face is one of the victims of the Troy. Like they see her beheaded in the movie, and he just felt guilt about it, and it's always stuck with him too. And it's kind of almost been like a conscience for him throughout the whole movie too. And yeah, what character development, because he comes self-realization that like, oh shit, like we had no business being there. We had no business killing those people.
He realizes his one trick is what honestly is the downfall of man and of the Bronze Age.
Which is why he also kind of realized that at Athena too, when he was like, oh shit, like I took all these people here. Like I led all these people to this island, I got these people killed and it was kind of my fault. And at the end, like you said, it was full circle when he goes to like, all right, we got to go not give justice to these people. How do they phrase it? Like pay respects, not pay respects. How do they do it?
Pay respects to the dead.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because he just leaves behind the dead in the cave on the island. He leaves them all behind.
Man, great character development in that scene alone too. And it's sad to see like literally all of his men die in this trip. Like no one makes it on besides him. And especially like after
they shouldn't have ate that cattle.
Yeah.
He told them not to.
I think in the show, in the book, don't they travel with a cattle too? Like they're not on an island with it. I don't know.
I know that if they didn't eat that cattle, though, they probably would have starved to death. And they were like, we'd rather drown than starve, which I think is fair.
It is fair, but I mean, they end up drowning anyway. I mean,
they knew they were gonna die.
Yeah, and see, man, I was curious, like, how are they gonna die? Matt Damon's not gonna die, but they literally tore that ship in half, and he washed up on that island, and where it all went downhill for him. He rocks a beard in every single looks he does. He looked cool in this movie. Solid movie all around. The score alone, I believe, it's the same guy who did the score for the Sinners movie, and he's worked with Christopher Nolan for years.
Ludwig Göransson, I think his name is.
Sounds right. I can't tell you.
He also did Oppenheimer as well. And Black Panther.
Yeah, this guy was talented. He brought out all the stocks for this movie. He wanted to make the movie with music that would have been from back then, which is almost impossible to figure out because we have no idea what it sounds like back then. But he did bring back to life like 2 Greek mythology instruments that they just don't exist anymore. He recreated them and he put them in this movie like to make it sound like it went back then.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, the score is amazing in this movie. He's probably gonna win an Oscar again for that, like he does for every other movie he does.
He's the fucking man, and see him pairing up with
Hans Zimmer. Hand him some water, Hans Zimmer. Your time's over.
I hate to say that. I don't know about that, but I can see them collabing maybe. But yeah, the score alone was great in this movie. The visuals were spectacular. There was not one bad shot in this entire movie. Everyone, he really gave everyone the time to shine in this movie, even though they had a small part. It did not feel like a small part when these actors were in them. There was an end credit scene. I think you sent it to me too, where it says Odysseus will return in Avengers Doomsday. So
that was just a he made.
I love to see that. I've seen that happen with a few people. Like Meryl Streep will return.
I sat through all the previews, and then when it was done, I turned to Hunter and I was like, oh, Odysseus is going to return in Doomsday.
Yeah. But even it was beneficial to watch the credits because like it had really cool music in there too.
I always watch the credits. The actors aren't the only ones that make a movie.
No, you can tell this is
it's somebody who has been on the back end of a credit for My Mistress Maneater. I respect the credits. People don't respect the credits. As soon as the movie was over, people are out of their seats and forming a line to get out the door. I'm like, no respect.
Man, I kind of wish. I mean, it probably wouldn't work well with this movie, but credits. I wish they brought back showing bloopers at the end of credits.
Yeah, that's more of a thing though.
Yeah, I've seen Tom Holland talk about what he mentioned it Matt Damon many times. That he's such a big fan of Matt Damon, the Jason Bourne movies, and he said that scene where they're filming where they're escaping the fire down in that church. He said he pulls Tom Holland to the side like. What do you know about whatever? Or it was a reference to the Jason Bourne movie, and he just cracked the fuck up after that. This movie was fantastic. I can't think of anything bad or thing changed. Like I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. I don't know if you saw that.
Me too.
And that's mostly because I've been rewatching the Spider-Man movies, getting ready for the new one, and I just gave like Spider-Man No Way Home like 4.5 stars. I was like, well, this movie's obviously fucking better than that movie, so I have to give it 5 stars. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't give any of those Spider-Mans 4 stars. I'm sorry, especially No Way Home.
I can see. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to argue with that.
They just rely. See, those movies rely on cameos. It feels like they rely on big names. I don't know.
It's not that they rely. It's like, I tell you, they have to have those big names in there. Like it's a contract thing with Sony and Marvel.
But like even for a Spider-Man movie, though, they don't have to have all those characters in there, right? I don't know.
That's we're going to talk about that in 2 weeks from now. So we'll save that for that. Who was your favorite actor in this whole movie?
Oh, my favorite actor in this movie was definitely Matt Damon. I think
it's a given, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamish is probably top 3.
Who?
He was great in this movie. Hamish.
Oh, Hamish Patel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked his character.
Yeah, there's not a bad character in this movie.
And Hathaway killed her role. She didn't let her Botox affect her acting this time.
Who in this movie would you see nominated for Oscars?
I think Matt Damon should get nominated, and
Best
honestly,
actor?
I can see Tom Holland get nominated for supporting role.
For supporting actor, I could see John Leguizamo for supporting actor in this movie.
Well, this is the first year the Oscars are letting multiple people. Well, I guess not the first year, but they can let multiple people from one movie be nominated for a supporting role, like they did for One Battle After Another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Leguizamo, I could see being nominated. Hopefully Hamish. That'd be pretty cool to see him get up there and nominated.
I think the Oscar for supporting actor though is going to go to the puppeteer who played Rocky and Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
because he can get nominated for being the puppeteer of Rocky.
I did see that. Yeah. Do you think Pattinson will be nominated?
Maybe. I can see that. Do you think any actresses will?
Anne Hathaway for sure. I want to say Zendaya, but she like I said, she had a total screen time of 3 minutes. I mean, I don't think she deserves it really. I could see that Goddess, maybe the one who turns them into pigs. I could see her being nominated, even though she had a small role in this movie. But yeah, get her in there.
I wonder if there's a certain amount of screen time a person needs to get nominated.
I don't know. That is a good trivia question to see what like the smallest screen time that someone had. But I was going to be nominated for best score, best writing adaptation, best directing, best picture, best sound. It's probably going to be like another One Battle to Another, where like they're in almost every category. They take home the most wins. I think it might take home the most wins for next.
Didn't
Oscars.
Sinners have more Oscars than One Battle After Another?
Sinners they did have like they broke a record with like 13 nominations, I believe it was. 16 nominations, maybe one of those.
Best movie.
Yeah, and it ended up being One Battle to Another who had the most wins. But I can see this happening too. I can see this one being the biggest winners. What would you give this 1 out of 10, Brandon?
Well, 1 out of 10, I'd probably give this a 10. Honestly, I
10?
enjoyed it that much. I really enjoyed it that much.
I would
And
agree with you.
I'm not scared to rank a movie high that I like.
Fair enough. I'm gonna give it a 10 as well. Usually at my first watch, I'm always hesitant to give it a 10 out of 10. You know, usually I reserve that for like a second or third watch, but I can say confidently I'm gonna feel the same things in the second time watching. I think it's gonna hold up for years to come.
As soon as it was over, I was like, wow. So if I get that type of reaction at the end of the movie, I'm gonna give it a 10.
Yeah. What makes a good movie for you?
What makes a good movie for me? Oh man, I have no idea. Well, this was very visually pleasing. It was very good sounding, and all the actors played great performances. I don't know what makes a good movie for me, because I also think Scooby-Doo, the first one, the live action one, the James Gunn movie, I also think that's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah. It's randomly. I actually have a coworker who is doing a birthday party theme for their kid's birthday, and it's Spooky Island from the Scooby-Doo movie.
Nice.
And she's making that skull with like the disco ball with the like spice sticking out of it. It looks cool.
I saw that in theaters last month too. It
Did you?
holds up.
Nice.
Yeah, my
Nice.
local theater, Can was showing.
I think like anything for me, what makes a good movie is like if you walk out to the theaters feeling anything, like if you feel happy, sad, mad, angry, inspired, whatever it is, as long as you feel some kind of emotion walking out of the theater, it's a good movie for me.
Yeah, like I felt so hopeful when I saw Project Hail Mary. When I saw Sinners, I was just blown away. Like, yeah, I don't know what makes a good movie. You just know it when you know it. You just know it when
Yeah.
you see it.
What makes a bad movie?
A lot can make a bad movie. Bad actors, for one.
Dakota Johnson. Yeah. Anyways,
Out of way.
let's go into a game I got for you. It's a Christopher Nolan fan game right now. I'm
Do
gonna
it.
go ahead and list all of the 13 movies that Christopher Nolan has directed. I'm gonna even throw a Rotten Tomato score out there. Now you have to tell me if the real score is higher or lower than the one I'm listing.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, we're gonna go 1998. The following,
Never
is it
seen.
higher or lower than 85%?
I'm gonna say lower.
His first movie got 87% on Rotten Tomato scores. Very impressive for a first debut.
I did not know about this movie until like a week ago. I always thought Memento was his first movie.
No, 87%, and the Rotten Tomato score, the audience score for this movie was 85%. The Memento 2000, is it higher or lower than 79%?
Oh, hi.
It is way higher. It's 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and 94 with the audience score.
Banger.
Insomnia 2002, is it higher
this
or
one.
lower than 81%?
I'm gonna go low.
This one's actually higher at 92%, and audience score of 77%, so I can see why you would think it was lower. 2005, Batman Begins, is it higher or lower than 92%?
Lower.
Lower, 85%, but the audience score is higher at 94%. The Prestige 2006, is it higher or lower than 89%?
I want to say higher because I really like that movie, but I'm gonna go with higher.
So this is probably one of his lower, well, not his lowest, but it's 76%. And the audience score
Really?
is 90. The audience score is 92%, so I can see why you think
I'm
it's
about
higher.
to say that's a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
2000
magic though, so I can see people not liking it.
2008, The Dark Knight, is it higher or lower than 83%?
Oh, way higher.
It is way higher at 94%, and the audience
Yeah.
score is also 94%.
Oh yeah. Way higher.
Inception 2010, is it higher or lower than 96%?
I'm gonna go lower.
Lower. I did listen to one pretty high. It is 87%, and the audience score is 91%. That one is probably my top 2 Nolan movies.
I enjoy that.
The Dark Knight Rises, is it higher or lower than 92%?
That one's lower.
It is lower at 87%, and the audience score is 90%. Interstellar 2014, is it higher or lower than 85%?
That has to be high.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it 73%, and audience score is
Wow.
87%. Yeah. Is Interstellar one of your favorite? Oh, you just said The Dark Knight is.
I really enjoy Interstellar. I do.
Dunkirk 2017, is it higher or lower than 84%?
That's probably lower.
That was actually higher at 92%.
Really?
The audience score gave it 81%.
I'm more with the audience than I am with the critics.
You've been spot on. Tenet 2020, is it higher or lower than 64%?
That has to be higher.
It is high, but not by much. It's only at 70%, and the audience score gave it 76%. 2023, Oppenheimer, is it higher or lower than 96%?
Is it even? Is it 96%?
It is not at 96%, but it's a good guess, though.
Ah.
It is lower at 93%. Still a great score, and the audience score gave it 88%. And
I
this
like that
one, the last one, the Odyssey, it is kind of hard to tell because it is opening weekend, so this very well may change by the end of the week. Is it higher or lower than 94%?
I'm gonna go higher.
It is higher at 96%, and the audience score gave it 97% so far. So, this movie is killing it in the reviews right now.
You said Inception is your top 2 Nolan film.
No.
What are your top 3?
No, yeah, and so top 2, Oppenheimer, Inception, and I'll go The Dark Knight Rises.
Nice.
No, The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Interstellar's
Aaron Eckhart's performance in The Dark Knight gets overshadowed by Heath Ledger, rightfully so. But his Two-Face as Harvey Dent is probably one of the top villain performances in any comic.
I agree with that. Yes. Did you hear? I think Sebastian Stan might be doing Two-Face next.
I do. I like that.
Yeah,
Fun
I
fact,
liked it a lot.
this is the first Nolan movie to not feature any cast member from The Dark Knight.
As soon as you said that, I could kind of put that together. Yeah, that is kind of shocking. That is very
Yeah.
shocking. Interesting. Gary
Do you
Oldman,
think-
not surprised, wasn't in this movie.
Yeah. No, Michael Caine. Well, I guess he's retired.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway, she wasn't in The Dark Knight, but she was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, she was Catwoman.
Yeah. Do you think Christian Bale could have made a good Odysseus?
Yes, yes.
I think him screaming in the pole, I think he could have done a good scream job too.
Do you think Leonardo DiCaprio did a good Odysseus?
Yeah, Leo can do anything.
Do you think
I think Leo, Christian Bale, Matt Damon, Tom Cruise. I'm trying to think of some other people, but those are like the top actors to.
How about this? Do you think Ben Affleck could have been a good Odysseus? I agree with that. Too.
No, I think he could have been another role, but I don't think he could have been Odysseus.
He's also like very taller than most people too, so he kind of would have been out of place in this movie. I felt like.
I feel like Ben Affleck lead films just aren't like that. I mean, I really enjoyed The Town, but that's the only one where he's like the lead in that I can think of that's really great.
I did enjoy him in Batman. I liked his Batman a lot too.
I like that Batman. He didn't like playing Batman though. He said he was miserable being Batman.
I can see
And that's why they only did the one movie.
Well, this movie just sucked. That's probably why.
Well, that Justice League movie was awesome.
Oh, it wasn't,
Batman
Brandon.
versus Superman, I like those.
Don't give that.
I enjoyed those movies. Those get hate, but I enjoy those.
Mhm.
Another fun fact: Christopher Nolan was a producer on the Justice League movie.
Interesting, Brandon. We're gonna end with like a couple random guests that we've been starting asking all our guests rapid fire. So I have like 6 questions I'm going to ask you, like not trivia, but more about you. What is your top 4 on Letterboxd?
My top 4 on Letterboxd is Superbad, The Dark Knight, Revenge of the Sith, and Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Oh yeah, dude, that's an awesome one. Your favorite movie snack?
My favorite movie snack: popcorn.
Okay, classic.
But
popcorn.
if I have to choose candy, Bunch of Crunch.
Do you ever try putting Bunch of Crunch in the popcorn?
Of course I have.
Your favorite comfort movie?
My favorite comfort movie. That's a hard one. I've watched Superbad so many times. But if we want to go more recently, a movie I've been watching a lot, I watched on repeat a lot, Sinners. I must have watched Sinners at least 6 times.
It's kind of funny. It's your comfort movie, but okay. I've seen Sinners like probably 7 times in theaters. Yeah, that's a good one. What is the last movie that made you cry?
The last movie that made me cry.
Or a movie that you can remember that made you cry?
Well, a movie that can make me cry is A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Man, because when he hangs himself at the end and then she sings their song, I can't hold it in. I tear up at a lot of things though, I will say. But I would say that one made me cry though. That one made me cry.
Good answer.
Also, Marley and Me really messed me up when I was young.
You know what I remember crying in theaters to go see when I seen it? Click. I remember crying at that movie.
What movie?
This Click with Adam Sandler, where his dad is dying in like the scene, or he dies too after seeing. Yeah, that's just random. A movie you can rewatch for the first time.
Probably Revenge of the Sith, because I remember seeing that in theaters and just being blown away. And then I rewatched Revenge of the Sith like a month ago, and I was just still blown away. That movie really means something to me. That's probably my top movie.
I love that. I love that answer. And the last question I got for you: an actor on screen that instantly makes you happy.
Robert Pattinson.
Good answer. Great answer. I knew that was coming.
I watch anything he's in. But if I were to give you a non-A-list actor, I would say Danny McBride. Also one of my favorite actors.
Consider him A-list. I would consider him.
No, he's not A-list. He's not A-list.
I think Pattinson's next movie is he's playing
Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
His voice in that is different than it is in the Odyssey, and he's going to be in Dune Part 3, and his voice is different in that too. And in the drama, his voice was different in that. This dude, I don't know if you ever seen The Boy and the Heron. He's the heron in that movie. He's a great voice actor. He is a great voice actor.
Yeah, he's just a great actor all around. This guy
I like that he's not afraid to be goofy. He's not afraid to be like silly on screen or like look bad and stuff. Yeah. He really blossomed. Twilight.
Well, even before then, he was in Harry Potter. He was in the Goblet of Fire.
That was his first role, actually.
Yeah, he was. I just watched that not so long ago too. He's pretty funny in there.
My boy.
Brandon, it was awesome having you on this for the episode. Like, I can't wait to go see this movie again for the second time. I know you're gonna go see a 99mm or 90mm,
70mm,
excuse me. And I wish I could be with you too, but like you said, it's weeks out. Maybe I will. Maybe because this movie is gonna be in IMAX for a long time. It's like Spider-Man's not even gonna be in IMAX because this movie's gonna be in IMAX for that long. So I mean,
that's kind of crazy.
It's extremely crazy. They're not gonna be in IMAX for the Avengers movie either because Dune has all the IMAX theaters.
Good. Screw the Avengers movie. They should stop making.
Brandon, don't piss me off. We had a good episode.
I have no hype for Doomsday. I'm sorry. There's zero hype for Doomsday.
Okay.
Like Endgame was perfect. It was the end game. End it. Boom. To leave it alone.
Well, they're doing the exact opposite, actually. This is going to be setting up like for Secret Wars, which is going to reboot the entire thing. So they're going to start all over with new cast. So I don't know. It's going to be a big one.
I hate that.
Okay. Brandon, this is not going to be the last time you're on the podcast. I will have you back on with Brandon as well, too. We'll talk more movies.
Better be on Doom Part 3. I'm calling that.
Doom Part 3. We might even have you on for the Chris Hansen movie. So, we'll be hearing from you again. Thank you again. Thank you for everyone listening. We just hit 10K downloads this morning, so I'm excited about that. Brandon, you're also on Letterboxd, too. Everyone go follow Brandon on Letterboxd because you are pretty good about keeping up with that, too.
Yeah, I like to write little reviews. I think my review for the Odyssey was, wow, Batman and Spider-Man really don't get along.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll be saving your seat.
Bye.